All right, have Sid bring them down. Never mind. Have Sid bring them down to us, please.
Some of these shots get more difficult, like the one we're doing now, where a hand brushes sand from her face, and he is standing on his head with a hand up, brushing her face, and she's mounted to a leg that's standing on the sand. We have to do this in several pieces. We have the background, we have the hand and the face, which are shot together because they actually interact. And then we also have the leg, which is shot separately to include and paint onto Tori's neck. Then we have to shoot the head upside down on the sand in position. So we're actually just preparing to hang our actor upside down and put his head on the sand, just make it look just right, and then shoot that to composite with all the other pieces.
Sanji had really thought this out frame by frame. I mean, in his mind, every beat in every bar was a physical, rhythmic marriage. The word fairy tale is something that people were playing off of when they were sending in treatments. And there were some fascinating treatments, there's no question about it. But I felt that Sanji was taking the word fairy tale and saying we have such an idea of what that should be, and most of us are very disappointed because our lives aren't like the books. And who wants them to be, really? I mean, if you look at it, I don't eat Wonder Bread. You know, I like pumpernickel. There are all kinds of fairy tales that haven't been explored, and maybe a woman that doesn't feel like she wants to show things about herself yet. She's a bit vulnerable. People have maybe turned that against her, so she has the two-toe digits. For her, you know, that's her private place. So when he laughs at that, he doesn't realize that she's been dealing with that since she was 2 years old. And it's like, yeah, heard it all before, yeah. Not from you. And so I think the word fairy tale was where we were deciding, how do you turn this word upside down? How do we make it a different kind of one? And since this is a sonic novel, Scarlet's Walk is a narrative, I like the idea of entering the first single being a fairy tale. I have a little girl. She is fascinated by DVDs. I mean, she works them herself, wants to see, you know, the Mad Queen, Scary Lady Mommy. She's fascinated by these horrible characters. And we spend time, most of our time together is in story form. And it's odd how when you have a little one in your life, they turn everything on its head. And I start seeing things differently than I would if she weren't there. I guess the craziest thing about the video is I had no idea. I mean, in my wildest dreams, I did not think I'd be filming appendages in love. It's not as if I sat there around the dinner table with everybody and said, hey, you know, in my deepest dreams, I'd love to be a leg lady. And when a rough came in, I was somewhere doing promo in Europe at the time, and I got a call on the phone, and somebody at the studio in Cornwall had just picked it up and put it in. And the special effects guys hadn't done their thing yet to it. So I spoke to somebody for the first time. Can you imagine? You've just done this whole thing, and you hear this voice on the other end of the phone in a little bit of shock and horror. Well, this is probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, and yet, are the heads supposed to be attached? They weren't attached yet to the bodies. So my first orientation of the video was, oh my God, there's Anne Boleyn everywhere walking around. The idea was, when they kissed, that it was this it was this idea of what a magical kiss can do. It takes you to places that you've never been, and for them, that meant places physically too, where they didn't have parts of themselves. So that scene was very sensitively done, because I think everybody was exhausted at that point on the shoot, but there was an awareness that we were making something we all believed, and we knew so far that we had it. Now, could these two people trust each other and take the next step with each other? And he held a space for us to do that. I mean, he was great about that. So we had seen the contortionists from a distance doing their thing. And once the contortionists had done their thing, in order for them to do it, then we had to have our kiss. So we realized that it was kind of a sacred kiss. Instead of creating a child, you create your own self. At the end of Fairytale, on the album, they have parted ways at the Bay Bridge in San Francisco. They've gone through, as we said, the desert, through Arizona, through Zuni. They've gone into the depths of New Mexico. They've gone to the Pueblos. They've gone to many different Native American sites that stir things up in her. And stir things up in him too, but they have different reactions to it because they're at different places in their life. I mean, at the end of the day, they're having this love affair, but they also have lives. And I think they're trying to see how each other fits into each other's life. And at a certain point, she realizes that she's going to have to change too much of herself to fit into his life. It's not an option that he fits into hers. He can't leave his lair. And she wouldn't want him to. That's part of the reason she adores him. I had a fairy tale the other day with my little girl, just picking up seashells on the beach and making a crap sandcastle. I mean, it wasn't successful in that you would not know that it was anything except a pit. And yet, there was nothing we would have changed about it. What did we achieve? That's what alchemy is, I think. It transcends the function of the experience. So it's not, did we do the thing we thought we were going to do and set out to do? We had a goal, blah, 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 blah. But we weren't wanting for anything. The two of us just sat there giggling. We'd buried her daddy up in sand because, he has to make the perfect sandcastle and it had to be right, and he has all the accoutrements that one gets to make a good sandcastle. And the two of us just kind of looked at each other and said, we're going to bury him in sand. And I think in that moment, maybe, your plans change. What you thought your story was going to be that day, the perfect story, the perfect day. It ended up completely different, and it was better.